Every culture that has ever been afraid of the dark left behind a rule for surviving it. Not a superstition, a circumflex euros, a warning passed down until it hardened into law. Tonight we go looking for 5 of those rules. 5 warnings that are still being followed in 5 different parts of the world for 5 different reasons. In Indonesian and Malay folklore, the Pontianak is the spirit of a woman who died in childbirth, a circumflex euros, and who returned enraged that her death, and her child's, meant nothing to anyone but her. She announces herself with the cry of an infant, carried on the wind through banana groves at night. Here is the rule, and it inverts everything you think you know about danger. If her cry sounds close, she is far away. If it sounds distant, a circumflex euros, faint, almost gone, a circumflex euros, she is standing directly behind you. The only defense anyone ever agreed on was small and specific. A single iron nail, driven into the base of her neck, is said to still her. Villagers still avoid banana trees after dark. Not because they believe in ghosts. Because the rule costs nothing to follow, and the alternative costs everything. In Algonquian tradition, the Wendigo is not a monster that attacks from outside. It's what a person becomes. Born of famine, of a hard winter and a single unforgivable choice, a circumflex euros, to eat what should never be eaten, a circumflex euros, the Wendigo is described as endlessly tall, skeletal, and always starving, because the more it consumes, the hungrier it grows. That's the part that outlives the campfire story, an appetite that punishes itself by being fed. The old rule was about restraint before it was about monsters. A circumflex euros, share the last of the food ration before you're desperate. Watch each other for the person who starts looking at you differently. The Wendigo isn't the danger. The moment you stop sharing is. In Caribbean folklore, the Saucaulant is an old woman by day, a circumflex euros, a neighbor, someone's grandmother, a circumflex euros, who sheds her skin at night, folds it away, and becomes a ball of fire that slips through keyholes to feed on the blood of people while they sleep. The rule for surviving her is almost absurdly simple: scatter rice across your doorstep before bed. She cannot resist counting every single grain, one at a time, and if dawn arrives before she finishes, she dies exposed in her true form. It's a strange kind of justice. A circumflex euros. The same compulsive hunger that makes her dangerous is the thing that traps her. The story isn't really about fire. It's about the fear of who's kind to your face. In Japan, the kuchisei wears a surgical mask which in most places would be unremarkable. A circumflex euros until she asks you a single question. Am I beautiful? Say no, and she kills you where you stand. Say yes, and she removes the mask to show you the wound that ends at both ears, and asks again. There is no version of this story with a right answer, only a less immediate one. Some versions say hard candy can distract her long enough to run. Most don't offer an escape at all. The story surfaced in its modern form in 1979, spread through schoolyards faster than any adult could contain it, and it has never fully gone away. Because the question underneath the question was never really about her face. Among the Ojibwe and other Great Lakes peoples, Bakok is a hunter's death made specific. Skin-stretched paper thin over bone, nearly invisible against bare winter trees, it moves without sound and hunts only the strong. A circumflex euros warriors, the able-bodied, the ones who believe they're safe because they can fight. Its arrows don't need to be seen to kill. And when a warrior falls, Bakok doesn't simply take a life. It opens the body and feeds, then fills the wound with something of its own. The rule here was never really about arrows. It was about the fact that strength is exactly the thing that makes you a target, a circumflex euros, and that the ones who think they're untouchable are the ones a rule was written for. Five cultures, five different fears, a circumflex euros, a mother's death, a hard winter, a trusted elder, an impossible question, a warrior's pride. None of them needed a monster to be true. They needed a rule simple enough to repeat, and one moment where somebody decided it didn't apply to them. That moment is the only part of the story that never changes.